Caitlin Clark's return to the hardwood wasn't just a performance. It was a defiant roar heard across the basketball world. After weeks of questions, doubts, and whispers that maybe the magic had faded, Clark stepped back onto the court at Gainbridge Fieldhouse and reminded everyone exactly who she is. In just 42 seconds, she dropped 9 points, including a 31-foot dagger that seemed to warp time itself. When you talk about players who deserve to get paid like the men, Clark's name needs to be at the top. This is a player whose presence alone elevated her franchise's value from $90 million to $340 million. One player. 26% of the WNBA economy flows through Caitlin Clark. If that's not a reason for a raise, what is? From the tip, it was clear she came not just to play but to dominate. She moved with grace, fluidity, and purpose. That injury? Forgotten. Her shot? Deadly. Her playmaking? Surgical. She finished the game with 20 points, 6 assists, and 4 three-pointers against a top-tier Connecticut Sun team that looked utterly unprepared for the force they were facing. The Fever didn't just win. They dismantled Connecticut 88-71, and even that score felt generous. But the story wasn't just about stats. It was about resilience. Because when Clark started to catch fire, the game boiled over. By the third quarter, tensions erupted. J.C. Sheldon swiped Clark across the face. No accident, just blatant frustration. Clark pushed back. And then came the chaos. Marina Mabrey launched herself into Clark with a full-body check, no effort to play the ball. The arena exploded, fans in disbelief. Technicals flew. Clark, Mabrey, Tina Charles. Sheldon got hit with a flagrant foul. But the question on everyone's mind, why wasn't Mabrey ejected? The refs had lost control long before that moment. The targeting of Clark has become a disturbing theme. Players aren't just defending her, they're going out of their way to rough her up. The referees? Absent. Inconsistent. Weak. It wasn't until Sophie Cunningham, fed up with the lack of calls, blindsided Sheldon in the fourth quarter that the refs finally found the whistle to hand out ejections. Cunningham, Sheldon, and Lindsay Allen were tossed. But by then, the damage was done. Fever head coach Stephanie White had seen enough. In the post-game presser, she didn't hold back. She called out the officials, not just for this game but for an entire season of letting physical play escalate into outright targeting. They gotta be better, she said. And she was right. Clark is a generational talent being battered game after game with little protection. Yet through it all, Clark never complained. She never retaliated. She just kept getting up, every single time, and kept torching the defense. Her mental toughness was staggering. Her ability to play through contact, ignore the noise, and still elevate everyone around her turned this from a comeback into a coronation. Her assists weren't just passes. They were visions of basketball perfection, threading through impossible gaps and putting teammates in scoring positions they didn't know existed. Her confidence radiated from the first minute to the final buzzer. This wasn't just a return. It was a statement. The critics who spent her injury absence crafting their overrated takes were left scrambling. She wasn't just back, she was better. The kind of better that makes defenders lose their cool and makes referees freeze in the spotlight. What makes Clark even more dangerous is how gracefully she carries the pressure. With every shove, every missed call, every cheap shot, she just gets stronger. She has that unteachable quality, composure under fire, and the mental sharpness to dissect defenses on the fly. She makes basketball look easy, and when she's locked in, she makes even the best look helpless. Stephanie White knew this moment was coming. Her post-game composure masked the fire that had been building all game long. She didn't just coach Clark, she defended her. She saw the targeting, the disrespect, and finally demanded accountability. That bond between player and coach, that's what champions are made of. But this is bigger than basketball. It's about how the league treats its stars. It's about fairness, safety, and respect. Players like Caitlin Clark don't come around often, and when they do, leagues are built around them. But to do that, they must be protected, not just praised. The league cannot keep letting physical play morph into targeted aggression. Letting this continue sends a message to players that the refs won't protect them, and that stars are fair game for cheap shots. That's not competition, that's negligence. The WNBA has a golden opportunity with Clark to grow the game, to bring in new fans, and to showcase elite talent. But to do that, they need to enforce the rules, hold players accountable, and ensure that games don't descend into chaos. Caitlin Clark didn't just return. She made a declaration. No injury, no foul, no critic can break her. She's not just playing in the league, she's redefining it. Whether you love her or hate her, you can't deny what she is. The most electrifying player in the game. The haters can whine. The jealous can fall. But Clark? She'll just keep rising. And if the league is smart, they'll rise with her.